Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to Empower Your Amazing Life Story, Embracing Our Wholeness and Expanding Our Horizons YouTube channel. My name is Mercy Martinez, and today's podcast is, and we continue similar topics, and this one is breaking our limitations so that we can expand our horizon. Last week, I was talking about time to embrace our uniqueness, and it was tying that up to the beginning of the year when we were talking about our goals and resolutions for 2019, honoring our blocks and limitations, working and evaluating our list, making sure that we are conscious of what we do want to create and how we actualize this list that we have created in January, so that by December 2019, we could say, hey, we were able to accomplish this. We didn't accomplish that because we chose to do something different. Versus, oh my God, it's December. I can't believe it. I have nothing. Oh my God, I lost track of what I wanted to do. So last week we were talking about an example of Marie Kondo and her joy of organizing and clearing up, which is an awesome um, way of seeing life if you're an organized person. But I was talking about how that series or that process can create resistance for those who are not that joyful in organizing and having everything in order. And boy, I didn't realize that it was hitting a nerve in out there. This week, I just started to see how many people have been criticizing her, how many people have been m- doing memes about her. And I thought, oh my God, you know, we don't have to point fingers and destroy someone else's point of view just because it's not ours. And so I was trying to figure out, should I talk about this week or not? And I thought, it's still out there, so might as well talk. One thing is to embrace our uniqueness. Another is honoring our blocks and limitations, as I have been talking about. And then the next one is breaking those limitations without having to insult or criticize or pointing fingers to others. It's unbelievable to me that someone that did not like Mary Kondo's um, process of organization and joy would go out there and destroy her process or criticize it in a way that's just mean. We are creating our own dilemmas when we are just leeching out and not thinking of someone else's feeling or someone else's work. It is almost like we have a battlefield, huh? Where if you do not agree with me, then you must be my enemy. So I want to take us to, how does this work with breaking our limitations? Well, I had been talking to you and I have been sharing with you that for me, my personal journey, I have seen the battlefield that we go through when we're pointing fingers, when we are deleting or breaking limitations by seeing them as enemies. And so I have been talking about how to honor them, how to embrace our uniqueness, how to harmonize and balance all these different pieces of us, our ideas, our choices, And today, with the topic breaking our limitations, I want to bring you to, well, to share with you because really it's my sharing. I don't know if this will work for you. But what has worked for me is looking at what I resist. And for example, because it's in social media all over the place, for those who are not, for those who are even saying, I hate Marie Kondo's process or are resisting her process, what I would suggest is you look at what is it that you resist. So when I see something that triggers my emotions and I start feeling resistance, I start feeling, or I can hear myself criticizing or judging that person, I take it in, make a note, and then I start asking myself, why am I invested in this? Why am I not honoring that person's choice? And why am I having to point fingers? What makes me the almighty judger of all in the world? I sure don't know what is right or wrong. I can only know what's right or wrong for me, for my personal life and choices. And so, from that process, from that work, let's say from what I had experimented, I have found a greater peace. I have found that my horizon expands every time that I break away from one of those self imposed limitations. So every time, for example, I have looked in social media or I'm talking to a friend and I can feel myself getting invested in such a way that I started to get mad or I start getting passionate of having to correct someone else's opinion, I already have a little flag inside of me that says, hold it. Why? They have the same right as I have to have an opinion. And it may not be mine, but that's fine. Just like my opinion may not be of a liking to others. So the way that I break away from my limitation is by giving myself the opportunity to see my own resistance, to understand how much I can control someone else, how much I can get myself placed in a box and see life only through those lenses of that filter or box. When I'm able to recognize that something that I don't like is not only getting me into a neutral place of say, oh, well, that's not my idea, and moving along. But if I get invested and I start getting upset and I want to correct and I want to post and I want to tell the world and I want to tell others, I already know now that I have a limitation that I have placed on myself that I'm ready to break away from. And this is how I work it out. I first, like I said, observe myself in my conversation, my inner conversation, my thoughts, what language I'm using. Am I getting upset? Why am I getting upset? And I put it in that scale of if I have an opinion and we all have free will and we live in a society of diversity and every voice has the right to exist, then why can I not honor that voice even though it's not mine? And that's where I start working on myself. It's not about surrendering to their ideas. It's not about giving up my idea. It's just common respect. Because as soon as I respect someone else's voice, I'm also respecting my own. At the moment I say that is their concept and they have the right to have that opinion, I'm also saying to myself, I also have the right to have my own opinion. And I don't have to fight. I surely don't have to argue. I don't even have to tell the world how incorrect they are and how correct I am. The energy of the drama dissipates because I am embracing my uniqueness. I am honoring my limitations, and then I can break away from them. I can break them into a new expanded horizon. I can explore, let's say, someone else's opinion and figure out why they're thinking or have that opinion. I can go as an explorer into their world, and I don't have to be of their world or in their world. We can still have a relationship that is coming from mutual respect of honoring each other's voices. And when I do that, what occurs for me is that my understanding, my comprehension expands. And it's not that I will change my mind or opinion, but somehow I now have a new perspective. Because the moment I give myself the opportunity to listen to someone else's point of view from a place of honoring and respect, it is interacting with my own thoughts, opinions, and experiences. And every time there is an exchange of honest, respecting each other, exchange of ideas or opinions, guess what? There is an expansion of consciousness for both of us. And if I am alert and aware of that, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to receive, let's say, what I am going to experience is a aha moment. And it may be 24 hours later, maybe a week later, but what I'm going to start feeling is, oh, I can understand their point of view. I understand that it's their journey to experience. They're choosing to experience something. And that I am not choosing that doesn't mean that I'm not learning from that also. And the most amazing thing is there is this joy within me because now it feels like I have more information to make a greater assessment of what I want to create next. Breaking from limitations is not just a formula of A, B, and C. It's really about opening our awareness to all the different points of view and then making your choice of how you're going to break away from a fixed box, let's say, or a filter to make it more expansive. So when I say breaking away from limitations or breaking a limitation, really, I'm really continuing from that um, way of thinking that has helped me. And again, this is just a sharing. So if it works for you, awesome. If it doesn't, I just invite you to look for what it works for you. But here, what I've been talking about and what I want to share really is about how much within our uniqueness of our souls, can bring into our awareness and then break away from that fixed opinion or boxed or filter, and then create a greater expanded horizon for ourselves. I think for me, that is what I called evolving, growing, and learning. And every time I do it, I am rewarded with the um, sensation, feeling, awareness of joy, of being able to see something new. that may have been there all along, but because I was in that self-imposed limitation, we can call filters or boxes, it was not allowing me to see. So I invite you. Social media, by the way, is an excellent place to make this exercise. It is what I have used for myself, using social media, listening to and looking at all the posts of my friends and not criticize them, not going there to make any comments, just acknowledging that their voice is as important as my voice. And I assure you that at the beginning it's not easy, but the more you do, the greater joy you'll find that you are able to not be pushed or hooked into someone else's drama. And maybe even next time, we'll be talking a little bit more about the social media, empathy, compassion, and respecting our voices. But I invite you to try to look at this. Evaluate yourself, embrace yourself. Know that you are who you are with all those thoughts, positive or negative. And then, just as we are unique, others have the same right. And then expand that horizon, explore it, be adventurous. I assure you, you'll be surprised how much more of you is there that you haven't seen. Well, thank you again for giving me this little time for me to share. I invite you to subscribe to this channel so you can receive the latest notification of when I publish new podcasts or any new information. Sometimes I do videos. Sometimes I do meditations. My channel, Empower Your Amazing Life Story, does this publishing every week. You can check my Facebook page, Empower Your Amazing Life Story, or my page, Mercy Martinez. You can also reach me in these comments down here in YouTube, whichever there you decide to contact me, or you can email me, mercy@mercymartinez.com. And I do wish you a spectacular week. Enjoy.